So it's my personal philosophy that easier dishes with less dishes to clean is the best way to go. So tonight we're making a one pan, and it's going to be miso butter chicken with some vegetables. So what we're going to start off with is our chicken thighs. We're going to go ahead and get our pan hot. We're going to season the outside layer. Now, what you season these with is completely up to you. It's however you like it. But the miso has a little bit of a soy flavor, so go with something that can add to that and enhance it, not necessarily fight it or take away from it. But also, if you want, add any sort of jarred seasoning mixture you want, any sort of fresh herbs, what have you. I'm going with just a classic salt and pepper, just because I think that's going to get us exactly where we need to be. All right, once you have your skin side seasoned, go ahead and put it into your pan, skin side down. And we're going to render the fat. Now, while our chicken thighs are searing in our pan, rendering that fat and getting them nice and crisp, we're going to go ahead and start prepping our vegetables. Now, this is a pretty flexible dish, so you can go ahead and throw whatever vegetables you want in. I would suggest something kind of hearty, like root vegetables, cabbages, mushrooms, that kind of thing, things that can tolerate a long cooking time, because after it's done searing, we're going to sear off our vegetables, and then we're going to throw it in the oven to finish up. Now, I don't know about you guys, but I love dishes where I can cook while I prep, so this is a great one for me. I got all my vegetables chopped, ready to go. I got my garlic minced, ready to go. And then next we're going to make our miso butter, which is exactly what it sounds like. It's white miso plus some butter. Room temperature preferably, but it can be a little bit more towards the melted side if you just forgot to put it out, kind of like I did. And all you're going to do is just mix the two together until it becomes one uniformed substance. And it's going to be a little bit on the thick side, so don't worry about that. But we are essentially just making a miso compound butter right now. And if you want to know what a compound butter is, it's a butter with extra stuff. I got another video on that. Gives you a little bit more of an explanation than what I got you right here, but check it out. Compound butters are terrific because they're a great way to just shortcut things or put a great finishing touch on something. Some of the nicer steakhouses I've ever worked, they use finishing butter as a compound butter to finish a steak rather than a sauce. And that is how you know they stand behind their steaks. And as you can see, we have a relatively firm miso butter. And all that, by about the time we're ready to flip our chicken. Got just a little bit of a sear on that skin, just starting to get a little bit crispy. That's exactly what we're looking for. You're just looking for it to be able to pull away from the pan with the minimal amount of fighting. Because if you're having to really dig down underneath it to try to get it up, it's not quite done cooking yet. Just leave it alone for a few more minutes and give it another try. If it's sticking here and there, just in a couple places, then don't worry about it. Pick it up, you're good to go. All right, we're only going to let it sear for a moment or two. On the other side, we're just looking for that nice sear all over. And once we got a nice light sear on each side, like I said, you're probably only going to sear it for another minute or two on the back side. We're going to put it back on the plate we pulled it off of, just because, like I said, I'd prefer not to do dishes if I can. Now, in the bottom of our pan, we got a little bit of fond, which is that brown stuff that cooked there. But we also got a lot of that rendered chicken grease. So we're going to go ahead and use that. So we're going to go ahead and use that for the next part. We're going to add just a little bit more because some of these vegetables are going to soak up a decent amount of oil, but we're just adding a little bit more. And now we're going to sear our vegetables. Now, again, you can go ahead and season this part too, which I would recommend. But if you're trying to abstain or just do a little bit here and there, Add whatever seasonings you like. For me, I'm going to add some umami powder, which is just a dried mushroom seasoning blend. It's because I want my vegetables to have a little bit of umami to them. Now we're just going to stir them around, let them soak up some of that oil in the bottom. And just get toasty warm. Now for my vegetable blend, I've got cabbage, I've got potatoes, and that's creating the bulk of my blend. But I also had some scallions, a little bit of carrot, and a little bit of celery I threw in there as well. Just because I didn't really have a plan for it, didn't really have a use for it. And a one pan is perfect for that kind of planning. But like I said, go ahead and add whatever vegetables you want. Just make sure that they're all relatively the same sort of consistency, just so they cook evenly and you don't have something like zucchini and potatoes in there where the zucchini overcooks and becomes mush and the potatoes are still kind of raw in the middle. All right, once we got a nice coating in the oils and the seasonings, we're going to go ahead and add our garlic. And I'm using quite a bit of garlic just because, well, this is what I'm making and I like garlic. You can never go wrong with garlic though. Once the garlic starts to get aromatic, which only takes you a minute or two, that's when we're going to go ahead and add our chicken back to the pan. And don't forget to add the chicken juice that came out. And then you're going to take your miso butter, just give it a good healthy spread on all the chicken thighs. I'm going with white miso just because it is one of the milder misos, so it's going to be more of a crowd pleaser than some of the heavier ones like red, which I'm more fond to. But if you don't have white miso, if you don't have miso in general, just go ahead and substitute the miso for soy sauce and make a soy sauce butter, and that'll get you closer to what you're looking for, so you don't have to get any special ingredients. Well, now that we've all misoed up our chicken and our vegetables are in the bottom, we're going to throw it in our oven for about 40 minutes to an hour, and then we're going to check on it, make sure everything is cooking and coming along nicely, and check our temperatures, because I think that'll be about where we're going to need to be. And there we go, miso butter chicken. Again, it's a simple dish. It all goes in the oven and it cooks beautiful. Now it is going to darken up a little bit on top, but as long as you keep an eye on it, it won't go too far and you won't even notice the taste other than that beautiful miso-y goodness. Now, we're going to get ready to test it. And in order to test it, I got mine right here. We're going to bring in our favorite sous chef Ender to be the official food taster. And he looks like he's ready to eat. All right, it's very hot. What do you think?
Good.
Yeah, that's delicious. The chicken thighs with the vegetables makes its own sauce on the bottom. It's very heavy on the butter, very heavy on the chicken fat. So it comes together for a nice little glossiness. Just take it, pour it over the top of your chicken. You guys love it. So what do you think? Want to walk us out?
If you like what we saw here, hit like, subscribe, comment down below, and repost and follow us.
And as always, thanks for cooking with us.